love.
Hello and welcome to this episode of No Blasters with me, Kieran Bartlett. Today's episode is sponsored by none other than Joxer, a sensational bistro that is in Hollywood and Bangor. Please book a table using Res Diary. It is absolutely sensational. I'm not even joking, right? So recently I've been in Joxer. They've updated the menu a wee bit. It's a wee bit dirty, all right? They make this thing called a French dip sandwich. It'll change your fucking life. I've been rabbiting on and on about chaffles. Recently, I've been trying other things on the menu. The staff disgusted at me. A lot of, why are you not ordering chaffles? I'm like, because I'm trying to fucking expand my horizons. And then I got this French dip sandwich. It means more to me than some people that are literally in my family. Like, eldest brother, don't care. give me a French dip. So it comes, it's like a baguette, right? And they put like slow cooked roast beef in it with mustard and all trimmings and all. And then they give you a wee bowl of dirt, this wee bowl of French dip, like beef stew, dipsy. Change your life. It's unbelievable. They also do. I had pancakes in it last week, and last week's guest had apple crumble French toast. Everyone was pleased. It's a fucking great time. So yeah, use Res Diary. They're open every day. They are open late on Thursday through to Saturday, from 5 until late. Please use Res Diary if you're going to book a table there. They do alcoholic drinks. They do amazing cocktails. They do wee dirty 15s. They do wee dirty croissants and all things like that, and all your teas and coffees and all that fancy stuff like lattes and chinos and whatnot. Wear chinos if you're going, and it's lovely. So please get on over to Joxer. They're very good to us. They love us. We love them. The one in Bangor has this filthy sandwich on it called a po' boy. I mean, I don't even know what that means, but it's fucking unbelievable. There's prawns and all in it. It's sensational. So please go do that. Great staff, great times, lovely music. It's a whole vibe. You will agree when you go. Everyone I have sent there says good things. I'm going today. I'm very happy about it. Please go to Joxer. It's sensational. Today's guest is none other than Irish comedy legend. Yeah. Irish comedy legend. Sort of going, what's your political persuasion here? Irish comedy legend, Colin Murphy. Mate, I am legit up a route for this podcast. I am so excited. I didn't say this when you came in because I wanted to embarrass you on camera. I'm a diehard Colin Murphy fan. Everyone knows this. Everyone knows this about me. Whenever I was just watching comedy when I was a student, you were the guy. You were my guy.
The Queen's gigs?
I would have gone to Queen's and I would have gone to the Empire all the time. Yeah. So in the Empire. So I would have been at all the Queen's ones when I was there, but the Empire I went to a lot for a good 3 or 4 years before I started comedy. I went there when it was mental, right?
Downstairs.
So there was the downstairs ones, and then when it moved upstairs, and it was. Do you remember when? It would have been queued back past the train station and all? I was in those queues, going trying to bait people to get to the front. But when it would have been you or Jake would have been doing the would have been the MC.
Yeah.
And mate, I was always when it was you were my guy. I'm like, yes. I remember seeing you in Queen's one night. I don't know if this was a bit that you did, but there was a wasp attacked you on stage, and you got 5 minutes of just the best shit I've ever seen in my life out of it.
I had a few drinks usually when I was doing.
It was sensational. You started then acting a wasp at a picnic. It was fucking unbelievable. It was
memory of this.
It was.
Sounds like gold.
It was fucking unbelievable. I remember just sitting there and being like, "Oh, it's fucking great." So this is a big deal for me today. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much.
What's the crack?
I haven't done any podcast before.
I've
never been a guest. But you see, this intrigued me.
Yeah, I thought he loves football. Just said earlier.
I don't.
I know. Yeah, just before started, I was like, "Did you follow Tim?" He's like, "Nope." Don't like football, don't follow football. I'm like, you seem very happy about that. What is it about it that doesn't? Is it all the shit around it?
Yes. It's not the football itself. Well, it sort of is, but it's not the football itself. It's all the us and we fucking showed you on Saturday, and you're going, what were you doing? You're sitting in your pants.
I hate that. We need to do this. We need to beat Juventus. I'm
And they're
like,
wearing the jerseys.
yeah. Oh
And
well.
'cause no, they're wearing the jerseys. That fucking annoys
It
me.
is funny when I wear a jersey though. When I stick on a United, they have never had a player like me. Do you know what I mean? It's
Well, I
always-
often think about that and think about because you do see the various shapes and sizes of people wearing these jerseys in the crowd.
And they're always like that.
Yeah, and you think whatever the sponsor to, and I think about the wee women in the sweatshops in Southeast Asia that are making them going, thinking how big are Man United?
Oh, it's fucking brilliant.
But I think football will be much more interesting. You see, because everybody turns up in their jersey. You don't turn up in all your gear. So you don't. That'd be wrong. That's frowned upon.
That's being a full kit wanker.
So if you've got shorts and everything on,
Yeah.
I think what you should do.
Do you mean supporters?
Yeah.
Oh, if a supporter showed up wearing the shorts and the
everything. You see, that's the thing. They're going, no, that's weird. Whereas wearing a jersey,
wearing the top of a pair of jeans, normal.
yeah, that's totally normal. But
Yeah.
I think what you do is that to make football more interesting for the non-football fan is to have a lottery every week, and they just random are out of the crowd,
Yeah,
and
gets
they
on.
have to play
Yeah, yeah.
because they got the kit on.
Occasionally, you see, I saw a clip the other day that I'd never seen of a striker come on the pitch. This woman runs on the pitch and absolutely smashes the ball in from about 30 yards. It was fucking it was actually fucking amazing. Where I sort of went, "This should be a thing." Have you seen that clip? It's fake. Oh, don't annoy me now. How's that fake? It's in a fucking stadium.
Yeah, it's probably
The girl that runs on.
Some girl runs on.
Finds it from 30 yards.
And the keeper actually tries to save it. It
Yes.
looks real.
I know because they probably took out the footballer and put in her.
Oh, it's balls. I'm like, here's my exciting story, and you're like, that's not real. That's
No, because look, hold on. I watched football and support in the 70s, right?
Right,
And when there used to be strikers, and they never had any skills.
No.
The running was one of their rare skills. That was about it. And they're wang out, and
yeah.
when nobody, yeah.
This probably was too good to be true. Like
Yeah.
that's annoying. You've annoyed me, Matt.
Yeah, like the keeper would try and save it. That's the bit.
He did
Yeah.
try to save it, and it still went in. And that's what everyone was commenting. No one said. I read the comments, and no one said it was fake until now. And I'm like actually legitimately annoyed. But I hate. Have you seen some of the mad deep fake shit? There's a thing that they can do now. There's a new software called Dolly. Have you seen this?
Mm-hmm.
Like DALL. You've seen it, Michael? So it's like DALL-E, right? And you can type into it. It's AI art and stuff like that. You can type into it, paint me a photorealistic, and it can be fucking anything. Like it could be a photorealistic Kieran Bartlett dressed as an astronaut, eating a swan on horseback
Yeah.
in an MC Escher painting,
Yeah.
and it'll just go 2 minutes, and it'll give you versions of it. It's fucking mental. And like now, I would say that
What are
like
you going to do with that picture, though?
I mean, here.
Where are you gonna put that?
That's an F. What's it called? An NFG, yeah. An
yeah.
NFT, yeah. What's NFG? Is that some sort of fucking drug?
No
or something?
fucking good.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think it's like people are saying it's gonna take out like the comics industry quite hard and stuff like that because people can just like if you're a comics writer. The hardest bit of the game is getting an artist. So like now you
So
can
you
just
can lie
get,
on a sofa. and
you can just
go
sit
on.
there and go, do me
Right.
fucking Spider-Man, you know.
Yeah.
I know, beating the Christ out of Doc Ock, and it'll just go right. And you go photorealism, and it does it, or you go, you can get it done in like
Yeah.
you know an impressionist style, and it's mental. Like I looked it up, because I thought it would be handy for storyboarding things. It's gonna be dear. You have to. If you want it now as a trialist, you have to basically be like a fucking industry leader of some kind, like. But it's fucking mental.
But
But
you can get a storyboard artist to do it for
I know for like
nothing.
they fucking don't do it for nothing, do they?
I know. No, well, that's what I used to do before. I was,
Oh, did you?
yeah, I went to art school.
Can you draw?
Yeah.
Oh man, I love that. I love that. I can't.
Yeah.
See, I think I can.
Yeah.
I'm like the little engine that couldn't. I think I can, and then I actually can't. Like it's fucking shit.
No, I paint. I don't. Yeah. Anyway.
What was our college like? Where'd you go? Did you go here?
I was in Bristol and then I
Right.
came back. So you do 1 year and then I came back here to do my degree back here.
Right.
And it was a fucking stupid decision. Yeah, so it was good. Yeah, when
Do
I
you
went,
still
there
draw
was
now?
8 women. Yeah, 7 women to 1 man ratio of our school.
Victory.
Yeah,
And you were funny.
never scored one in 4 years.
That's mental. What do you do? Like,
I did illustration. Is what I did. Yeah, and then I did that for a few years after I left college.
really? That's
Yeah, I did
mental. I
stuff
didn't know.
in Elle magazine and
Really?
Cosmo and those sort of things.
Don't know why I'm sitting here going, really? Really?
Yeah,
That's mental. I didn't know it.
yeah. Everybody has another job to do.
What's your could you draw now?
What do you mean drawing?
Like
Drawing now.
Like, I mean,
draw something.
I know,
now.
like, I don't
Do you
mean this
plaster and go,
instance.
"Here,
I mean,
could
yeah.
you plaster? Like,
I mean-
could you plaster that? Could you plaster that right now?
I just mean like
Fucking bollocks, you couldn't.
if somebody said to you, draw me a guy on a bike, you could do it and it would look like it.
Yes.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I've always assumed
I
that
don't know why anybody would want me to do
our
that. just right
Kevin
now.
and Declan can
Yeah.
they did art and they can do that kind of thing,
Yeah.
and they did architecture and all, and like they can fucking really do that. Like,
Yeah.
and I remember, do you know what was mental? I remember when they were at uni and they were doing architecture, they used to have to design buildings
Yeah.
and then like
Build the wee models.
build the models, and the models were fucking like, it was mad intricate, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, I was doing like a degree in ancient history, so I'm just sitting there. I toss in some musings every now and again, get my fucking degree, and Kev's sitting there fucking sweating over whether like his bridge is gonna stand because he's made it out of the wrong plastic. You know what I mean? What happens when they press down on it? And I go, I don't know, but it'll be fun to find out.
I used to work in a lab that tested concrete, and I've had seriously
say,
the most insane jobs.
that's
I've ever worked
mental.
on. So they used to test concrete. So they stick it in water trays for
Right.
like 28 days, 48 days, 72 days to see what'll happen if it's
Right.
moisture content, and then you take them out after this, like then you whack them in a crusher. And you put this pressure on it, and then what you do is, this was in the 80s, and then when it goes down, when it starts, the first cracks start to appear, then you stop it and you write down the pressure that the cracks start to appear.
Wow.
But I was 16,
Yeah.
and there were women that worked in the office at the top of the road, and they would come out at lunchtime, so I'd be looking out the window, and I turned around, this thing would be crumbled a bit, and I go, shit. So I just make up numbers. So there are car parks in Belfast I won't go into. Because I was responsible for the
That's
stress
fucking
testing the
amazing.
concrete. Yeah.
That's fucking great.
I
So
know.
what was the kind of journey from uni to comedy?
Ah,
Was that a long time?
no, well,
Like, what age were you when you started doing stand up?
20, 25,
Yeah.
25, yeah, 24.
I think a lot of people started. I started like I was
Yeah.
23. A lot, but like pretty much everybody that I know that does comedy started between say 22, 26. But then there's a couple of guys that are like Aaron McCann and William both started when they were still in school and all. And I'm going,
What are you going to talk about?
I know I wouldn't have had the
Isn't
balls
PE
on
a
me.
nightmare?
I know. Do you know what was mental?
Double physics.
See, the first night I met them, I remember saying to Aaron, I was like, what are you doing tomorrow? And he was like, oh, I've uni tomorrow. I went, oh, fuck, right. And I goes, what about you? And William, first night I met him, he goes, oh, school. And they'd been slagging me about being old,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
because
yeah.
I was 26 or something when I met them, right? And I was like, fuck you. And he goes, no, like, actually, I've, like, fucking double politics first too. And I'm like, why are you in fucking Lavery's at 1 a.m., you cunt? Do you know what I mean? Like, totally mental, like. But yeah, so
Yeah.
you started when you were 25.
Yeah,
What,
I
what was
did.
the?
I
What
did
was the?
theatre before that, darling.
Oh really?
Yeah, theatre acting. Marvelous. I was not a thespian, treading the boards.
And didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Where were you doing theatre?
It's amazing what you do when you're young and you've no fear.
You have energy.
You've no fear, energy, no fear, and yeah. So yeah, no, I did that. I was in well, this sounds really wanky, but
We had a theatre company.
which is very easy to form. Do you want to have a theatre company? That's
Done.
it. We've got
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
And so yeah, we used to put on shows and stuff, and went to Edinburgh and did all that. And
That's mental. Who was in that? Anybody? Would I know anybody who was in that?
Kathy Clugston, who
Right. Yeah.
does,
She does radio and
yeah, she
TV
does
stuff.
Gardeners
Yeah.
Question Time.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
institution on
Yeah.
Radio 4, and she does all the continuity on Radio 4. She was in it. Yeah.
Mental.
And so we used to do plays and that sort of stuff, and then improv, and then
Was this here or over in England?
no here,
Right.
and then improv, and then get into comedy. That was it.
Mental. Where was comedy starting? What was your first? Can you remember your first gig?
Queens,
Right.
very first gig, very first comedy night in Queens.
And what were you doing at it?
I juggled raw liver.
Did you?
Yeah.
I was meaning, were you like, did you MC? Or
Yep.
were you like open? You're like, raw liver.
Raw liver. It was a compare. I had a bag of raw liver, and then
You MC'd your first gig. That's
Yeah.
fucking mental.
so it
Isn't
was,
it?
yes, I hadn't a clue.
Oh,
Yeah. MC. Oh, yeah, probably what you have to
Yeah,
do. We just introduce the acts. All right, dead on, and then you do a bit. I went, all
That's
right.
funny.
So I had to do 30 minutes my first gig, and so I got the raw liver, and but it was sticking in my hands. So I thought, I have to stop sticking in my hands because I was going to juggle. So I taught myself to juggle because I was going to juggle raw liver. I like Vic Reeves, and so. But it kept sticking in my hands, so I put talcum powder on it.
All right, okay.
That's the stupidest thing I ever did in my life.
It makes like a paste then,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
yeah.
And it's going to stink so
And then I had it
bad.
in a bag at the back of the stage.
Oh my
And I
God.
forgot about it. And then I went, the raw liver. Before I brought on the last act, so I went over and picked up the bag and opened it and did lights. And I went, I just did that noise. I went, no, I'm not going to do that. So I didn't do it. And left the raw liver.
So when was this, vaguely?
1993.
Fuck.
So 30 years ago in
Jesus.
February.
That's mental. I was probably prepping for my communion. That's fucking actually nuts. Do you know what's mad? I don't know. You probably don't remember this. I accosted you one night in the Empire. Whenever I was thinking of starting comedy.
All right.
So people have been saying to me, "Oh, you should just," because I was doing music, and part of my sort of music act was kind of slapping a wee bit of people, doing some jokes. And some mates of mine were like, "You should just fucking try stand up." We'd been to a show in the Empire, and some guy had come over from England, and he fucking he just died in his hole really badly.
Oh, because we're doing stuff about the tubes.
He did.
Oh, the Northern Line, eh?
He did do fucking tube material. I remember, and he did like IKEA, but it was pre IKEA here.
Yeah.
And I was going, and one of my mates was like, the classic reason to do anything, you're better not, cunt.
Exactly.
And I went, right.
That's everybody here.
I know, right? So I was like,
Everybody here.
right, I've never done it before. And I was sort of shit myself. And I remember, and I'd had a few, like, this was when I used to drink, and I'd had a few pints, like, and I went over to you. You were out, I think, in, you know, the wee bit downstairs, but outside, that wee bit. And I went over and I was like, here, give us a gig, will you? And you were like, who are you? And I was like, I'm the great Kieran Bartlett. And you were like, well, have you been doing comedy? And I went, no. And you were like, well, no harm. Like, you can't really just fucking start in the Empire.
It wasn't the place to
No,
start.
it wasn't. You were right. And I went, well, where do you start then? And I literally am going, please don't say fucking London or something to me. I don't know how any of this works. And you're like, I think like there's a gig in the Pavilion. And I was like, on the Ormo? And you were like, aye. So I remember you put me in touch. You said to me, the guy, you told me Graham's name, Graham Watson, he was running it then. And I was like, right. And I contacted Graham on fucking Bebo or some shit, and MySpace or something. And I was like, here, give us a gig, will you? And he was like, I can't for a while, but I'll get you one. Yeah. And he got me a gig in McHugh's in the basement.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it was actually fucking lethal, but this is true. I think I've said this before as well. When the guy that was running that at the time said to me, do 7. And I went, right. And I didn't even know that was like in music, people would say to you, do like half an hour or something.
Yeah.
If you were a band, or like if me and Johnny were playing, it would have been like, can you do 2 hours? So we'd be like, yeah. And see if you did 2 hours and 20, nobody gave a fuck. See if you were doing half an hour and you did 45, nobody. It was more like a minimum.
Yeah.
It wasn't do this number, only this number, and fuck off.
Yeah.
So I remember, like, my first gig, I did like 23, 24 minutes, and it actually went well. And a lot of people had come to see me because I've been chatting about it in the in the music gigs. I've been going, I'm doing a gig in McHugh's, I'm doing my first stand-up gig, and so people that came to the music shows that we did came to see me, so it did bring a wee bit of a crowd with me. The first gig I did, and I have a big family, and they all fucking came and all. So the guy was sort of going, you did well, but you did fucking 3.5 times what you were meant to. Like, don't be a cunt. And I remember going, okay. And he's like, I wouldn't book you again if you did that again. And I was like, okay. And then that was kind of just started, but like, and then it was about 4 months after that, I like came back and was like, I'm ready.
I knew somebody that did a gig in the store in London.
All right.
And they were doing an open, and they overran. And
Oh, jeez.
Don, that used to run the place, be there all the time. He said He says, you can't be doing that. Can't. Give him a bollocking. He says, don't be doing that. He says, come back again, but don't do that. So he went, fuck. And came back again, and he walked on, and he put a clock on the stage when he walked on.
Oh
and he
my
did his
God.
set, and then it went ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, and he stopped mid-sentence, picked up the clock and went and walked off.
Oh my
Didn't finish the joke,
God.
didn't finish anything, and then Dawn came in and gave him a bollock and said, what the fuck are you doing fucking doing? He went, ah, and then walked out and never came back.
Oh my God. That's rare. Like,
Is that, he went to that, he was that petty that he went
Yeah,
and got the
yeah.
clock, and that was very funny.
we saw a quite famous comedian in Edinburgh do like 35 when he was booked for a 20 there. In a comp show, like,
Yeah.
and it was the last show of the night, I think, in this place. So it didn't overly matter in terms of like there wasn't another show coming in, but fucking all the other comedians that were on were like, because I think they'd moved around to accommodate him coming to this. Oh mate, it was in the middle of it. He stopped and goes, "How long have I done?"
Yeah.
And somebody literally in the car goes, "About 25," and he goes, "Oh, I can't be that." And he kept talking, and you're going, "Leave, you can't." Like, it was like
Well, I had somebody do
so bad.
who thought they were closing
Yeah.
at a festival, and they were like a big comedian and from the States, and they thought they were closing,
Oh Jesus.
and they were onto their 39th minute, and
Was it meant to be just a 20?
yeah, I was on after them.
Oh fuck.
And
mad, like, that's
so
mad.
it was awful. Then I had to go on, and he stormed. That was the worst. Fucking
Yeah. Yeah, that was the thing. This
he
guy
still
see,
made me go on and do 5 minutes. I went, I want to go home.
I think that's the worst. I sort of go like, I think it is worse though when somebody goes over and they're dying.
Yeah,
Like, because the audience is sitting there going, "How long have you done?" Like this
but there's
guy.
a part of their heads thinks I can win them back.
Yeah, this guy was doing okay, but we saw one in Canada, and the see, I'm notoriously quite shit for timekeeping, but I am getting better at it.
Yeah.
Like sometimes if I wear a watch, it fucks me up playing the guitar because I've got small hands and it just pinches my wrist a bit. I realize I sound like a wee bitch. Anyway, it's very annoying sometimes, and I always forget the watch. I always forget it. So I've been getting like whoever's with me, give me a flash 2 minutes out, and it tends to just fucking work. And professional. And but this place we were in, they had like a wee bit up there. Like if this was the stage, they had like a wee bit up there, like a wee box.
Yeah.
Has a wee red line in it.
Oh yeah.
And so like it was fucking great. Like we were sitting at the side of the stage in the audience, but you can see that if you're at the sides, you know, the sort of, anyway, I don't need to go into the fucking geography of this room, but anyway, it was like, you could see it. So we knew, and it starts flashing. So somebody's obviously sitting going, ding, 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 your time. And your man literally looks at it, keeps going. He's down on his hole, by the way, like, and he just kept going. And then the next thing, the light's just on constantly. And then it starts really flashing again. And he's just looking at it and going, he keeps talking. And I'm going, leave, cunt. Like, like, how bad was that guy? Wasn't he? Like, he was,
Well, the mic gets cut then.
Oh, yeah. Mate,
We've done that in Queens. We did that one night. There was someone just die. Like, I mean, fucking, I can't be in the room when people are dying. I just can't.
Some comedians love watching it. I hate it.
I can't stand
I hate it. Yeah.
And
it makes me
this guy
think
went
of all
back
the
to the
times I've done
beginning.
it. Oh fuck.
He got to the end of his 7-minute bit, and then was that pissed. He went back to the beginning again, and the audience sort of started looking at each other, and then they started laughing, and he thought, "I've got them."
Oh yeah.
And then, what is he doing? And he did the whole thing again. And his girlfriend was up on the balcony. She was filming it, right? And we looked up and saw her just put the camera down like this. She just folded it up, put it away. And we cut the mic on him. And I had to go out on the stage and
Cutting the mic is.
cut the mic and then take the mic and go, anywho.
There was a guy.
At this point, he's lying on the stage trying to ride a microphone stand.
There was a guy I saw in there one night. At Queens, he was English, and he had sort of like longish hair, and he was really like, all right, you can't, and fuck me, he gets stuck into a guy. This guy was being a ball bag, and he stamped him, and then he stamped him, and he stamped him, and to the point where everyone else was just like, we're done with this gig now.
Yeah.
But he did this all. He basically spent about 10 minutes on this guy at the start of his headline set. Yeah. And it was really, like, it was funny for the first couple of minutes, and then it just became like, it's just him and this guy then. Yeah. And, oh, mate, it was fucking, I was just sitting there going, you know, when you want to get up and walk out, but you go, I know if I get up to walk out, he'll turn on me. It'll be me. I was fucking.
Well, I was the
rare.
one that used to walk out. I'd be in the back,
Yeah.
sitting drinking, but I should give. Not watching that. Not watching that.
So like, how long was it then between say doing that and then you being in between doing like the liver into doing like the Empire?
About 2 weeks later, I did
Right.
an open spot in the Empire.
That's mental.
But I got booked for it to be an MC, the first gig. So I was in Queens. Then they decided they were going to start a comedy club, so I got booked. And then there was this guy who was running these 3 other gigs from the Front Page. You doing Donegal?
Remember the Front Page?
Yeah.
I would have gigged in there doing music. Yeah.
And so he was running 3 gigs, one in Bangor and one in Derry, and in the Front Page. So I got booked basically that night. I became a compere 3 nights a week.
Fuck.
And
That's
didn't
mad,
realise
isn't
that you
it?
have to do different material every week until week 2. And the same people were sitting looking at you going, "You did that last week and it was shite." What was the best heckle? Best heckle fucking ever was in the Front Page, and I walked on stage and I went, "Oh no, that cunt again!" And yeah, I hadn't even got to the stage. And it was unbelievable for heckles. There was a guy came up from Dublin one time and he had these weird pointy red shoes on, and he was going up to the stage, and as he walked past these 2 guys, they went, "Hey, fucking shoes." And the man got to the stage, went to the mic and he went, "Good night," and walked off, and walked straight off.
Oh, so good.
Other one was it was a radio mic. They got
Right.
a radio mic one week, and there's when the interference with the
Yeah,
old
yeah,
radios
yeah.
from the taxis.
Oh shit!
So
Right.
there was a guy on stage down in his hoop, down in his hoop, and a guy from Scotland just really not going well. And the next thing, all you could hear is, "I'm outside," coming through the PA. "I'm outside here to pick his cunt up. Where the fuck is he?" And then somebody said, "That's your taxi, mate."
Oh,
It was
God.
just, you couldn't have written it. It was just so perfect.
I remember one night. This was in the Empire. So this is the week before my first gig in the Empire. So
Yeah.
like I said, about 4 months after I started,
When was this then?
like 2010.
Oh, right, yeah.
I went back to down there, and I went back over to you, and you were like, "Go and speak to this guy, Jackie."
Yeah.
And I went and spoke to Jackie, and he's like, "Right, come down." He goes, "I can't get you in for a load of weeks."
Yeah.
And he gave me a date that was like 6 weeks later, right? So I come down as like early June maybe in 2010, and he's like, "Come down to a 7," and because I'd been gigging a lot, I hadn't been as often to watch, so I thought I'm definitely gonna go down and watch in the next couple of weeks, just to get the feel of the place again and sort of like tell myself, what do you call it, fucking affirmations, right? And there was this guy who I'd been gigging with a fair bit at that time, and he started a bit. So this is the week before mine, and he's doing the open spot as well, and he sort of started probably around the same time as me. We were sort of like frenemies, you know what I mean?
Okay.
We were always on the same bills. Don't think we ever really liked each other that much, but he was closer to me than fucking some people in my family, right? So I'm sort of like, we go on, he was on, and he's sort of eating shit, and I'm going, "Oh mate, like his stuff was eating shit though everywhere." Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So
this wasn't the first time.
yeah, so I'm sort of going, when that happens, I'm always of the opinion of fuck you then, because like if it eats shit, say you do something that eats shit and you don't change it,
Yeah.
maybe, and it eats shit again, then you must change it.
Yes.
Right? And I'm going, maybe twice.
Yeah.
For me, I'll change it pretty much, or I'll just drop it. I go, that was a wee bit of fairy dust, wee lie that I told myself that it was funny, right? But this guy didn't change it, so he's eating shit. And then he starts this joke where he says, "I've started some acting lessons recently," and just like that, somebody in the crowd goes, "Should have got fucking comedy lessons, mate." And I literally just went, and it was because there'd been such silence in the Empire, and it literally, so he roared that, and then it just went, "Roar," and I was just sitting there going, "I'm gonna get fucking buried in here next week. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." And I remember just like going home, shitting myself, and I was just like furiously fucking scribbling for days, going, I can't fuck this up. I like rehearsed for that gig. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
In a way that,
yeah.
I probably haven't ever again.
Well, that's
like,
like there was a place in London used to be the place. The first time I went to London, I asked everybody, I said, where's the hardest place in London? I want to get it out of the way. I want the Empire of London done. So everybody, to a man and woman, Sunday night up the creek in Greenwich.
Right.
And it was legendary. It had hecklers.
Right.
Like the hecklers were more popular than the comedians, right? And it was all open spots, right? And Malcolm Hardy used to run the gig. He would come on, he would do the same set every week, same jokes every week. everybody knew the jokes. They'd all still laugh. They'd all say, what? And just all this stuff. And met the wife in Berlin. Said, what the fuck are you doing here? And it's all this sort of stuff. There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. So many children, it can't fell off. That's genuinely what the jokes were. And so I turned up and he wasn't on. His wife was comparing because it was International Women's Day, right? So his wife was doing it. And we were like, what the fuck? She's not a comedian. And we go, And it was notorious. I have seen some of the best heckles and some of the best stories about hecklers from in there. And there is a story about a heckler in there, and someone started doing, they were dying on their arse, right? And they started doing mime, right? And there was a mime bit. They thought, what part of their brain thought, I'll win them back with a bit of mime. And it was getting rowdy, and they were doing a bit of mime, and there was this guy at the back, he says, I'm blind. Is she still on? There was one that I was there, and it was someone, and they were again dying on their fucking arse. And she says, I'm a schizophrenic. And then this guy just started, why don't you both fuck off?
That's unbelievable.
The hecklers are unbelievably brilliant.
That's fucking great.
And if you could get one of them, there was a guy who used to sit with his back, like deliberately to the stage, and because he knew it would through the comedians.
Yeah.
And if you could get him to turn around, you knew.
Yeah, it was like The Voice.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
That's when Russell got the idea. I used to go there.
That's fucking brilliant.
I know it was the best place.
So
rough, so rough.
So, I obviously people will know you from the panel and the Blame Game. What was the like? So were you like flat out just doing stand up then, and then was that your first kind of? Were those your first TV things, or did you do TV stuff?
No, I
that?
did. I was gigging in England loads, and there were no gigs here. And
What was it like, sort of gigging like in like 93, 94, 95, like when it was still like troublesy?
Yeah,
You know
well,
what I mean?
was. Yeah, it was really hard, but it wasn't the troublesy bit that was hard. It was the fact that they still called it alternative comedy. So you'd be doing like a bar in Crumlin, and you're on before Take Your Pick.
Yeah.
Competition that the priest's hosting, and you're on. Weird, genuinely, myself and Jake did that gig, and they're looking at you going, "There's no need for that language, boys." And then somebody else will come on and tell some racist guy, and they're going, "That's nice comedy." And that's very funny with that Chinaman. And that's what it was like. So you were. Yeah, because that's the thing. All the younger ones now are going, see, when you started, it must have been easy because there was like only you. Only like three of you. Yeah. And you're going, it's so much harder now. There's loads of us. You're going, loads of us are shit. And this was trying to,
That's fucking.
Talk fellas just started looking at me going, what's that supposed to be funny?
I know, man.
Seriously, what are you fucking talking about?
I think those gigs are I find, see, going and doing like, I'm about to embark on doing some of these wee towns, but like, see, doing like a wee bar in the middle of nowhere, you don't even, like, I did one, actually.
But it's different now because
it is different.
They're watching it in the telly and they've grown up with it.
There's more just stand up around, so they do get it, but like, there's a couple, I find specifically Ballymoney, that area, to be just death for me. Like, it's very difficult for me up there.
I like Ballymoney's really good.
I eat shit so much in Ballymena.
Are you saying it's because of crossings?
I don't know what it is.
Are you implying that?
I wouldn't imply that.
See if you
turned
up.
All right elsewhere.
Do you know how to win them? Right, walk on stage with a motorbike helmet under your arm. That's how you win them over.
It's like the gag for them, isn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's yeah.
They do. They fully love that.
But it does freak. But you'll go wee places now, and you'll be like in a wee bar somewhere, and you'll be talking to a boys of deer, that sort of fella there. And they'd be chatting away about this and that. How'd you get up here? You up in the A5, did you? Oh, class. And I said, I love Sean Locke. I love Sean Locke. He's brilliant. That joke about the Wombles and riding, and that's class. And just the thing that 15 years ago you wouldn't expect.
So like, it was mental. I mean, because I'm saying this, I did do a decent one in Ballymoney there at the football club. Actually, it was a very good wee gig, and they were lovely. But I'm one of the people who loved it the most. Was probably like the oldest guy at the gig. This guy was really old.
Yeah.
And he's sitting in the front, and I'm like, I come out now and I basically go, I do filthy songs. He's up for it, and people are like, yes. And then you separate the ones who were up for it with the first song. But this guy fucking loved it. I literally was like, mate, you come to all my gigs now, you ancient bastard. I love it. Like he he had to be 80.
Yeah.
He fucking loved it. I don't know if he
What's
understood
he got
it.
to get offended about?
Exactly.
You know?
He fucking loved it, and it was mental because there was like some quite coarse stuff in there, but he fucking loved that. But I do. I've always eaten shit in Ballymena. I don't know why. I don't know why. But I did one in Kilray.
Where the hell's that?
Exactly. Like I think it's a townland. Because there's no town to speak of.
Okay.
But they had a wee festival called the Furry Thorn Festival.
Right.
And I did a gig up
Sorry,
there. I know.
When
I know.
you agreed to do a gig in a place that doesn't exist for a festival
for the
fairies,
for furries, and it was
did they
so
say,
it was like me
did
and
they
Sean
mention
Dillon and
money
Paddy.
first?
I know, yeah, they
Was
did.
that the
They
first
did.
thing they said?
I think,
and then you said, "Where is
I think
it?"
the phrase "name your price" was used, and I
Oh.
went, can we name this area? Just fucking Kilray. Like, I mean, so it's up near. It's up. I think the last thing that I passed that I recognised was Balahi, the Seamus Heaney fucking home
right,
place
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It's up around there somewhere.
Oh, right.
You know, got into a quite deep conversation the other night with William and Chloe. Somebody mentioned Seamus Heaney, and I said, and they were saying Seamus Heaney was bollocks, and I
Right.
was like, I think he won the Nobel Prize, so he's probably not shite, like. And they were like, no, it is shite. And I went, some of it's funny. And they were like, what's funny? And I rhymed off like the first wee bit of the early purges because I was made to learn it when I was a child.
Yeah.
The early purges, and they're like, oh, it's fucking hilarious, man. He's shite, and I can't convince them. And also,
Sorry, I just love this conversation. You're sitting around. Seamus Heaney's fucking shit. It's just like, he's not fucking shit. He's fucking class.
they're literally
Prove it to me, and then you fucking listen.
I literally goes. I was 6 when I first saw Kittens Drown. Dan Taggart pitched him the scraggy wee shits into a bucket of real metal sound, and Chloe literally just goes, "Oh, he's class." When he was in the back going, That's not funny as fucking shit."
Did you not go, well, who's your favourite poet then?
We did. We literally did. That was literally where it went to. Who's your favourite poet? And I'm trying to remember what they came off with, but I know that I was left going quite like Robert Frost actually. This is on the way home from like.
Says you don't get shirts for that, do you?
No, yeah.
Just poetry readings.
Frost. Just
Frosty, Frosty.
Just a fork in the
Yeah.
road.
Snow upon a ditch.
Yeah. Oh, it's fucking funny, mate.
That's kind of fucking weird having favourite poet.
I know, poetry conversation. This is what happens.
Seamus Heaney did this brilliant thing. I can't remember who it was. It was a Jake went to see him and in the waterfront or something, and he did a reading, and then this woman came belting up, right? Belting up the aisle before everybody started moving. She came running up and she had like an armful of books that she wanted signed, and he was walking off and he had his book that he just read from under his arm. She came running up and then he just looked at her and then she went, and he just went, no.
I've always thought like he probably has a bit of a root, like, but you know, I think I was like when we studied it, they always make you. They never just let you read the poems.
Oh,
you've
the
got
voice?
but you've also got to like learn. You've got to like learn his life story. It's all,
right, yeah.
everything's context, and you're like, yeah. So he sort of bucked off in the middle of the Troubles and wrote a load of poems about the Troubles.
Yeah.
So you're sort of sitting there going,
Yeah.
it's a wee bit Van Morrison doing a political song now, as opposed to, you know, in the 70s, and he fucking gave us Moondance. Do you know what I mean?
My English teacher went to college with him.
Oh, really?
They went to Queen's together, and so he was obsessed with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, my dad went to school with Kieran Carson, who was sort of like he was another poet from here. He wasn't as famous as Seamus Heaney, but he would have taught at Queen's and all.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, I started off doing English at Queen's before I changed to do ancient history, and like my dad was like, we were talking about it or whatever, and I said to him, there's a guy who's teaching at Queen's and we've to fucking like learn his poems. I'm like, fucking ego trip, like. And he goes, who are you talking about? And I goes, Kieran Carson. And my dad literally and my dad would never have really used this word. He just went, ball bag. And I went, what? And he goes, he went to school with him. My dad, I don't think I ever heard him say that word again. Just went, ball bag. My dad went to school with him, said when he was at school,
Can you imagine
he was an arsehole.
how much of an arsehole like a poet would be at school?
I know, yeah.
Like really, you know, it doesn't matter how like you know how cool a poet is now when they're a grown up. When you're a 17-year-old poet.
I know, yeah. What did you get for question 3? And he's like,
I looked inside the metaphysical
Yeah.
and flirted.
That's funny because when I know this is maths, but it reminds me of when Hercules and Dante, you know, and you're just like, you can't. You know what I mean? Oh, it's mental.
No,
Shall we
it's
do?
the poetry voice. It's the poetry voice that everyone does. I fucking hate.
See that?
Oh, see those ads on TV, all those nationwide ads. Oh man, I nearly bucked it.
Oh, I hate it.
Anything nearly through the TV.
I hate the bit. Do you know what really winds me up when they do it for football? See,
Do
when
they do it for football?
They'll do like a, it's us versus them. You know, fucking,
Oh.
it's us versus them every weekend, and you're just sitting there going, fuck up, like, oh mate. And do you know what it is? There's people, I know there's people who do this, and it's their creative outlet and all. But see that shit of like monologue and everything, like it's a monologue poem.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is like, do you know what it is? Poetry is like fucking, it's like bad stand up.
Yeah.
Because it's careful. This is gospel. I'm about to drop gospel. Poetry's bad stand up because it's fucking, it's considered words with no laughs.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's words you fucking poured over for this,
Yeah.
as opposed
Yes.
to people laughing. That's the reaction.
John Cooper Clarke is a genius.
He is very funny. Though.
He's the only person I've ever met that I have been like properly like
In awe of? Oh, really? Yeah.
I did a
See-
couple of gigs with him, and nicest smelling person I've ever
Oh, really?
encountered in my life. Swear to God, I've never. And everybody that was around him, as soon as he walked away, like men and women were going, "My God, he smells amazing." And you don't want to say to somebody, "You smell fantastic,"
Hello, yeah.
but he was incredible.
He smells like wisdom. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
He lived
That's
with Nico
fucking amazing.
from Velvet Underground. She moved to Salford
Oh, really?
and lived with him.
Jesus.
In the set, they were all strung out in heroin, but
Aye.
you know, they shared a council flat.
He
in
is
Salford.
funny. He Kel's reading his or listening to his fucking, what do you call it? I think he reads his own autobiography.
It has to be him reading it.
Yeah.
And him reading his poetry.
Aye.
It's only
He is
funny.
funny. Like
He's a performance poet. It's different.
yeah, some of the stuff. See when he's obviously he's the fucking the Michael Schumacher, the fucking Jessica Chastain,
But
the
there were all
fucking
those
whatever
when I started
of
like,
that.
Like, and whenever I was in stand up in the 80s, there was performance poetry. Like comedy poetry was a big thing. So there was him. There was a guy called Mark My Words, and
That's good.
Craig Ferguson.
Right, yeah.
No, sorry, Craig. Radio 2 guy, Craig Charles.
Right. Oh yeah.
Used to do that. There's a guy called Attila the Stockbroker. There was a load of them, and they used to be on the telly. They used to be on, so there'd be stand up, a band, and then
Yeah.
poetry. Sometimes
Yeah.
it was a bit right on and a bit Thatcher, but loads of it was brilliant, like really, really.
It was
good.
weird. I was
Benjamin
talking.
Jeff and I used to do loads of
Aye,
stuff as well.
he's
They were
one
brilliant.
that you would get on.
My
you'd
first
see him
gig
on
actually was
past
with
shows.
Mark My Words.
Really?
Actually, yeah, I'd watched him on the Tube for a few years, and then the next first gig was with him.
That's
Mark
mental.
Hurst. Yeah.
Because there was the guy from here that I always liked. I'm not gonna get into this again because I did talk about it on a recent episode. But Crawford Howard, did you ever hear him?
Yep.
He did stuff from here. It's really Belfast, like really funny shit. A lot of it's about the shipyard and stuff. But
Alright.
like he did it. So his most famous one's called the Diagonal Steam Trap, which is just it's funny as
Yeah,
fuck. It's a whole thing about like a guy at the shipyard who like invents like there's something wrong with the ship, the engine won't start.
Uh-huh.
And he goes, "Oh, you have forgotten the diagonal steam trap, lads."
Oh,
and
like
he's-
Bubble for a Spirit level.
Yeah,
thing?
and he's just
yeah.
he's just like made it up,
Yeah.
and he's like, they're like, nobody wants to look stupid, so they're like, you wouldn't knock us one of them up, would you? And he's like, right. So he makes this box and he welds it on the side of the engine and goes, as long as that gauge is at 0, it's doing its job, right? and then he pulls a rag out of the engine and goes, get it going, and it's all colloquial, you know what I mean? He's all like, you know, Jimmy didn't know what was going on. He'd made it all up for a gig.
Yeah,
you know, that's
yeah.
the type of thing. And then it's like, and then there's one where he's like, that's her now. And the engine starts. And then, like, next thing he's fucking, it becomes a global thing where, like, the Russians are trying to find out what the steam trap does. And then they don't want to look, they realize it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
They don't want to look stupid. So they start knocking out steam traps. And he's fucking running a factory for the Americans to compete with the Russians. It's stupid, but it's
Yeah, that
funny
sounds
as fuck.
great.
Oh, it's so funny. Like, and he does ones like about like he does like wee songs and all. Like there was one he did about like, you know, some woman fucking breaking her ankle one day up the shankle, all that type of stuff. You know, but it's like some big fat woman fell over and couldn't get up. It was really funny. Like, I'm doing it no justice, but it's funny. So then I did ask you this, and then I asked you to talk about what it was like gigging earlier. But what was the what was the trajectory then into doing like TV stuff?
What did I do first? Oh, I'll tell you, my first ever proper telly gig was there's a program used to be called Pebble Mill at 1. If you were a student,
Right.
you must have. It's breakfast TV.
Right.
It was on at 1,
Oh, 1
1
o'clock,
p.m.
yeah.
And it was a magazine program and came out of Birmingham on the BBC, and it was like This Morning.
Right. This
the middle
afternoon.
of the
This
day.
morning, this afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How's it going? And and they do interview things, bit of music, and they came to Belfast, did open auditions. Someone said go, so I went like a fool, and there was like a juggler on, and there were girls
Oh,
doing hula
wow.
hoops, and it was proper, variety stuff. And then I went on and did 5 minutes, and I got booked for it.
Wow.
And and they flew me over and put me up in a hotel, and I was going to class.
Yeah.
And then I went to do the gig and thought, this is a mistake. It was full of pensioners, except one big section was missing.
Right.
And there's only about like maybe 70 or 80 people in the audience, but they were all from old people's homes nearby.
Yeah.
The car park was just full of minibuses, right?
Oh, wow.
And but one of the minibuses had broken down, so there was like about 14 people missing. And the warm-up act was giving out biscuits. Genuinely giving out, like he had a packet of digestives, and he came out and he went, all right, I said, you're right, and then giving biscuits out. And I was going, oh, this is a fucking mistake. So I had to stand on this wee stage that I was going to be performing on for ages on my own, just standing there thinking, I'm watching the rest of the show. And who else? Oh, they interviewed, the band was Tanita Tikaram. There's Love and Hate. Do you remember that? It was like a one-hit wonder. There's Relation, Love and Hate. Boo, boo, boo. Anyway, her. And the World's Strongest Man
Oh, my God.
was interviewed. And then me. And I did some gag, and some old fella laughed, and his teeth fell. I swear to God, his top set of
Oh
teeth
my
fell. And I thought,
Showbiz.
I don't like
Can't get
showbiz.
enough of this.
Swear to God, that was my first telly.
That's
And then I
mental.
did, then there was nothing for a few years, obviously. And then RTE.
Right. Well, the panel was.
No.
befo-
It
Oh.
was before the panel. I did a
Oh, really?
program called The Blizzard of Odd.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah,
I
it was
I
a
remember
real
that.
cult sort of late night thing. And the producer of that came to see me in a gig in Dublin, and then asked me to audition. And
Mental. I do remember
that.
that show.
we used to do 17 shows in a series. Fuck. And I was on
See, my-
3 months of the year, and
My
then we do
memory
the
of
panel.
the
So I was
yeah,
on 6
my
months a
my
year.
me- I was gonna say my memory of the chronology of all this is fucked because it feels to me it's always like shrunken for me.
Yeah.
So I'll have been thinking actually that was after
No, that
the
was
panel and Blame Game, but maybe
99.
fuck that's mental. And then when was the panel? Was it
99, that was 94-ish, 93,
mental?
94,
And then
maybe. No, we
when
did, so it's in 2
aye,
back to back. So I was on doing the panel, and then we'd finish the panel, which was live, like
Yeah.
totally live. And then the Blizzard of Odd would come on right after it.
oh Jesus,
So, yeah.
Carol Vorderman
It was
everywhere.
the Murphy Hour.
Yeah, that's great. And then when was Blame Game? When did it start?
95.
The Blame Game?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Did a pilot. in
Was it on
95.
radio first?
Yeah, 95, 96 was radio.
Mental.
And then it went on the telly, and it's been on.
Been on ever since,
Yeah.
yeah. How's that going now?
that's
Still
it.
enjoying it?
It's it's
So it's you, Neil, Tim, and Diona now?
I'm doing it now. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's good. Diona's brought in a different
Ah, she's great. Like,
Vibe.
she's really funny.
and
Explosive.
yeah,
like, sorta
it's gre-
energy,
It's
like.
just great, and it's good to have a young person on. Do you know what I mean? It's nice to be in touch with young people. It's MySpace still a thing. And Tamagotchis. You ever
Yeah.
have a Tamagotchi?
Pogs, mate. Yeah, no, Diona's funny. Like, her podcast great. So what? How come you wouldn't? How come you don't? I remember as well. Sorry, that you did the great unanswered questions.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah,
was a
did
fucking
that.
show.
Yeah, I love doing that.
That was you and Matt Collins. Wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, and then just a guest comedian. So
Yeah.
just get people I knew. to
That was a
come
good
on.
show. Like,
And but it went on Radio 4 and all sorts of.
yeah, no, it was great.
Business.
How come like you wouldn't be doing podcasts or anything? It's not your vibe, or
We were just talking about that before we came in, and I don't know. I'm just the same reasons we were talking about. It's just
melt you? Would it melt you?
I don't know.
It's sort of like having a show, but you don't have to do what anybody fucking says except for them.
I know. Yes, you see, at least you've got them.
Yeah.
I know. I need to sort of get with the times.
Oh,
I did during.
this internet might take off.
I don't know. I give it
Yeah.
a while now. I'm getting rid of the Albetamax, so I might move on to this.
Shall we do a wee quick match? And then
This'll be fun.
it's lunchtime.
Right. So
you don't follow football, you don't care about football, you don't
No.
play games.
No.
So make your first podcast appearance.
yeah.
Here, what am I doing? Bollocks, here, we need to swap
More to the point, what am I doing?
Yeah, you use that one.
Okay.
I'll take this one, I think. I think this is what we're
years
doing.
ago.
I might
I
need
think it
that back,
was-
actually. I might have fucked this on you.
I think I
I
played.
have fucked it on you. There you go.
The last time I played this, it was FIFA 74.
Oh, no, sorry, no, I haven't. There we go. I'll have this. You have that. There we go. I think we're good. We should be good. There we go.
Right.
So I'll give you a very quick skinny here.
Okay.
Pass,
Okay.
shoot,
Shoot.
boot,
Boot.
through ball. Like
Okay.
a
Yeah.
cultured
yeah,
pass.
Yeah.
This is sprint.
Okay.
When you don't have the ball, this will change your man.
Okay.
This is move.
For fuck's sake.
And then when you don't have the ball,
Yeah.
slide tackle and like a stamp.
Oh, I like that. Oh shit! I pressed B.
That's
What
okay.
happened there?
Just press A. It'll be grand. So we'll pick teams. I'll be somebody shite. I'll still win, but I'll be somebody
Of
shite.
course you will.
I know, but see, this is the thing. People are always like, "Why do you get people on can't play FIFA? Why do you take pride in winning?" And I'm like, Man United could come up against a shite team. If they lose them, it's over. Do you know what I mean? You still have to beat what's in front of you. I'm gonna be somebody out of fucking
Can you be
out
anybody
of fucking
here?
Republic. You can be from the League of Ireland, but not from the Irish League. I think I'm gonna be. Isn't there a fucking UCD team somewhere?
Yes, there is.
I
Even I know that.
think they're on it. They used to be. Oh,
No, they're
they've,
not, they're
they've
gone.
been moved. They must have been. I'm gonna be fucking Drogheda. Here we go. Isn't it? Is it in Drogheda that you can go see Oliver Plunkett's
Oliver
fucking
Plunkett's
skull?
head? Yeah, I'm glad to see it.
I always think. Do you know who you want to be?
Oh no.
I always think you should be somebody decent. I always think.
I used to support Arsenal when I was a kid.
All right, let's be Arsenal then. There
Oh.
they are. Yeah.
Ooh.
I'll go. Yeah, you stay on that way, Kit, and I'll take.
Okay.
I'll go.
See,
on
this is the bit
fucking-
as well, right?
Yeah.
About FIFA that it's someplace FIFA in the sort of office bit that utility room. So I'm constantly in and out getting stuff, and I come in and he's there getting a suit, and he's putting a suit on a player
Oh, yeah.
and choosing ties and
You can do all that now. Yeah.
earrings and watches.
I made a thing of
You go,
myself
"What the f-"
on Football Manager,
Yeah.
where I basically became the manager of a club,
Uh-huh.
but I put on the only photo of myself I had on my computer when I started this was like a black and white one of me going.
Right.
And I put it on and I looked like a ghost of a manager. It was it was unreal. And the game puts you on to the back pages of sports newspapers and all, and I'm sitting going in black and white. It was fucking amazing. So yeah, press A. And we'll get stuck in. Don't worry. It'll be over soon.
What's this?
This is just a wee warm up.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then.
So yeah.
Oh right. Okay.
So you get a wee sense of
There we go.
how to put it towards the net. If you hit B, yeah, it's not bad. It's not awful.
Well, no, it was awful.
Do you know who was
What's-
actually
what's
surprisingly good at
why?
this?
Oh, that's passing it to the other fella. Fuck, yeah.
For the first time, Diono was actually surprisingly good at FIFA for a first time.
That's crap.
But here, let's go. Let's get stuck in. So, have you much coming up then that you want to tell people about?
I'm trying to write stuff. I'm doing loads of wee gigs, just trying to
Yeah.
write stuff. And how do I change player again?
LB, the wee shoulder button there on the
Oh
left.
yes.
Yeah.
And then oh yeah. Then I nobody noticed that. It's grand. Yeah. And then I'm going on tour in February.
Oh, great. Where are you going?
Everywhere, doing weird places I've done before, like Ballycastle and
Great. Where are you doing up? Are you doing the hotel?
the hotel.
Oh,
Yes,
that's great.
and
I love Ballycastle.
apparently it's a brilliant gig.
It is, but I just love it there.
And-
It has the beach. I'll throw this to you for free.
Yeah.
They've a great chippy. I know things like this. This is, see if you need information about bakeries and stuff. I'm like the fucking yellow pages, right? See, there's a chippy up on the harbour there.
Uh-huh.
It's called Morton's. It's filthy. They do fish straight out of the fuck. There we go.
Ah, fair
It was
lad.
common, wasn't it? Like
It was,
they do,
yeah.
I have to beat what's in front of me. They do fish like straight out of the fuck. Obviously, as all fish is straight out of the sea. But like, it's
He advertises.
I know straight out of the sea.
Straight out of the field.
Right?
Fish as fresh as you can get. From loft
Yeah.
to fryer.
Yeah. From farm to plate fish. It's amazing. It's a great wee chippy. It's right up at the harbour where you get the boat to Rathlin.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Oh, what was
But if
that
you hit that at the right time, like if you're doing a Friday or Saturday, it should be
Yeah,
open.
yeah.
If you hit that at the right time, get yourself a wee thing. Do you like fish?
Fish supper. That's
I don't love fried fish, but they do wee fish bites, mate. And
fish bites.
they're filthy. Yeah. Oh mate,
Just
look
come on,
at
just
this.
fucking.
It's like Mortal Kombat here. Oh,
Oh, you
mate,
missed.
Drogheda doing Arsenal. Could it happen for real? Look at him.
Look, that's the most ginger head.
Isn't
Look
it?
at that. Is that based on a real person?
He has ginger skin.
He does. I have ginger skin. What are you talking about?
Do you? Are you
I-
ginger?
Oh, I.
Are you?
Yeah,
I didn't know it.
yeah.
I'm not even being a dick.
Not as ginger as that, but yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
I think we all are downstairs, aren't we?
I'm not.
Are you not?
Nah.
What are you?
It's like an off-brand nicotine color. No, I'm only joking. It's
Mine looks like ZZ
I'm just
Top.
dark.
Mark.
What?
Mine looks like ZZ
See,
Top. And that it's grey. And or one of the Dubliners.
yeah, just Ronnie Drew. Yeah, that's fucking great.
Yeah, your Mickey turns into a nose.
Yeah, when your Mickey turns from Luke Kelly into
Yeah.
Ronnie Drew. That's fucking great.
Why none of my players run towards him? You for the love of Jesus.
It's a. Do you find this to be a frustrating process?
Yes.
Yes.
This is why
Well-
I did not take to the Space Invaders. I understood. You go left to right. That's it. None
Yeah,
of
yeah.
this.
None of this
Thinking in three
running into the
dimensions.
map. Yeah.
No. B. I have to remember too many things.
I always find it weird though when people don't play games that I like. As weird, people always think you're a nerd if you do play them, but I feel like you're missing out on so much if you don't play them.
Like
Do you know, like,
frustration.
well, see, I really like my favorite games. I do love this to be fair, but my favorite games are like I would rather play games than watch TV.
Would you?
So that so like my favorite game is probably at the minute Hell Let Loose on the PC, which is like a World War II. It's basically like Band of Brothers, the game, but it's amazing. It's amazing. World
It's,
War II.
I
military
have played
simulator.
that years ago.
That type of thing. Yeah,
Yeah. I think
Call
it
of
was the
Duty
Band
type
Brothers.
thing?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
the Band of Brothers one, and I liked that
yeah.
because I could take that at my own pace. What I didn't like was you know dying and then going back and repeating the whole bloody thing all over.
Ah,
again.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Christ, that was annoying.
See, on this one, you're mostly it's all online, so you're just playing against other people. So it'll be like 50 guys
Oh, I know.
or American,
I can
50
hear
or
his
German.
son.
Do you hear him talking
Oh,
to
no,
people?
he's got the thing going. Fucking do it!
Yeah.
Jesus! Fucking right now! Go! Jesus! No! And I go in and go, dinner's ready. All right, dinner. And did you know those people? You shout at these people. He says, yeah, where are they? I don't know.
I
They're in
mostly
America. They've got guns. They've got
know.
guns.
I
Don't
mostly
talk to them
play-
like that.
I mostly play with strangers on it, and it's
I'm past the halfway line. I was pleased with myself there.
get a nosebleed. Yeah, like I mostly play with strangers on it, and it's like if I'm Chloe thinks it's funny when she hears me calling for a medic.
Medic.
Yeah, because she's like in real war, people are like medic,
Yeah.
but when I'm playing, I'm very civilized, and I just be like, medic, if you get a wee chance, I'm if you could have a wee minute, my leg's been severed. She stretch it. Yeah, I enjoy that wee game though. It's great. I had a wee game on it last night.
You know, it's-
You end up going to bed really late though if you
well,
start late.
yes. See, I have quite an addictive personality, so that
Yeah.
would, you know.
I'm very much a Magnuson. I've started so I'll finish
Oh, right,
attitude.
yeah.
So like I got into a game last night quite late after I finished working, and like it was like an hour and 15 minutes just for one match, but it was like, I mean, we won, so fuck it. But I believe this. I do believe this. See, if I'd been a commander of the German army during
Yeah.
World War II, we'd all be fucking
We'd all be
speaking
speaking
out
German.
Deutsch right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
Tactically
Yeah,
know,
mate.
yeah.
I don't know what it is. In real life, I'm fucking useless. I said you earlier. I bought my car because it has secret fucking backdoor handles. But see, on Hell Let Loose, I am a leader of men. Like I don't even know how it's true. You're laughing. It's fucking on people.
Do you give rousing speeches and things?
Yeah, mate. People.
What's the fun of that? Why are you always in that
You've seen
thing?
me on Rome as well. Rome Total War, mate. The Sam Knights, they've nothing against me. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I fucking enslave them. I must never be given real power. This is the thing. It's not allowed. Like, are you doing that thing as well? So sorry, I interrupted you as well. You were saying your turn. You're doing Ballycastle. Where else are you going?
Oh, well, the usuals. I'm doing Belfast in the autumn. I haven't booked dates for that yet.
Right.
Um,
Like this autumn or next?
no, next autumn.
All right,
That's
okay.
that.
I was gonna say you're.
No, 2023.
Aye.
So, but yeah, all the usuals. Larne is a good one. Have you ever done Larne? It's a
I
wee
haven't
theatre
gigged in
Larne.
Larne in a long time. Yeah, must
There's a wee
be.
theatre called the McNeil Theatre. It's very
Right.
nice. It's actually really nice.
Have you done any in that place in? I know Neil Delamere did it. In Portaferry called Portico.
Yeah,
Is
I'm
it
doing
good?
there. It is amazingly good.
Because I'm considering doing something there.
Oh,
maybe.
it's brilliant. It's an old church.
Aye, Shane said that. Aye,
and,
because I sort of meant to get down that direction for a show because I think it's probably one of the only like areas that I'm not doing. But I'm also I've got a couple of bigger shows coming up, so sort of didn't want to take the piss with the amount of things that I'm sort of plugging tickets for. You know.
yeah, well, I won't do gigs where I'm from. Like, I just can't.
Are you not from Belfast?
No, from Downpatrick.
Are you?
Yeah.
I've always
Culty.
thought you were from
No.
Belfast.
Nope.
That's mental.
Yeah, I speak like this because.
Is that not? That sounds Belfast to me.
No, well, everybody I went to primary school with was from Short Strand,
Right. Okay.
and they were all burnt out in the
A lot of
70s when
people-
they moved into the house
Aye.
estate we lived in.
A lot of people I
everybody
went to school with,
Yep.
secondary school was from there.
So
I say secondary. It was a grammar.
the grammar.
It was a grammar, darling. Are you doing that thing as well with Tim and all in the Ulster Hall?
Oh, the yes,
Like
integrated education.
Yeah. That's
yep,
a good.
yep.
That's a good cause.
And
When's
yeah,
that?
we've done it last 4 years, I think.
Yeah.
And well, obviously not during the vid,
Yeah.
but
During those breathy times.
yes, it's
yeah.
on. Well, I did a fancy thing. Kill him. Yes.
Fuck, you did kill him as well.
No, well, I was fair. It was fun. What the?
These-
This is a bit annoys me in football as well when players go and go. Fa, 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 fa. Have you ever seen a referee go? Ah, fair enough. Yeah,
I
you're
know,
right.
yeah,
I
I
was
know,
wrong.
yeah,
I was wrong.
yeah.
I was wrong.
I do love this though out of an Italian player.
But no.
I find that hard to do with my wee hands, but like I enjoy watching men do it. Do you ever look at a footballer though? This might not be something that you have, but I definitely have this. I look at a footballer and go, "That's a man," like, and then you realize you're older than him by about 18 years.
18 years.
Yeah, like there's footballers now that are 17, 18. I'm like, he's a man, like, you know, he's got his shit together. I'm sitting there with my monks going, "Please score so his bet comes in." I'm not joking, I don't bet anymore. But did you ever bet?
No.
Oh man, I fucking loved it.
See, I've told you about addictive personality. That's why. I
Oh
can't.
yeah, I probably think I have that too.
I can't be doing any of that.
You can't, yeah,
It's dangerous.
yeah. I fucking.
I did
oh, man.
spend a birthday once in a casino.
Alright,
in
thank
Melbourne.
God you didn't just say a bookies, a bookies and pull glass.
Great days, good days. Brought a cake around everybody.
Oh, that's
Somebody
fucking
sang,
brilliant.
Happy birthday, tell ye. Happy birthday, tell ye.
It's just a fucking cake made out of people's beaten dockets.
There was, yeah, and I was in there for 12 hours because obviously
Oh,
the
really?
no windows thing,
Oh yeah, no windows, no windows,
Yeah.
no clocks.
free drink.
Yeah,
And
I didn't know the free drink thing until recently.
Yeah. Oh, why can't they kick him?
Does that must work for them, or else? I mean,
Well, clearly it works for
I
them.
mean, because they wouldn't be doing that. Like,
Well, this is the bit about how to Trump bankrupt a casino.
yeah,
You can't.
the house always wins.
Yeah.
Like,
This could be keep me alive.
I know, yeah. Mate, Drogheda are fucking loving it. Look at this.
Goal decision, no goal. Of course it wasn't a goal. How
I
was that
know.
supposed to be a
Yeah,
goal?
it's fucking nowhere. Like, no one thought that was him.
No. I'm just pressing buttons.
So what was I gonna say? You getting away anywhere? Shit? No. What?
Busy a night, are you?
I know. Have you much coming up then in Belfast? Like, are you still doing the clubs at the minute? Are you still doing the Empire?
Yeah, still. I was in on Tuesday there.
All right, okay. I'm doing it next Tuesday just for a wee spot.
I just try stuff out. Or?
Yeah.
Well, I was down in Dublin last night doing that, and I'm going to try some more things down there, but they were all fucking too
How do you
young.
find? Oh, mate, I mean,
so unbelievably young.
do you know what's mad? I referenced the song "Message in a Bottle" yesterday, and in a conversation,
Yeah.
and somebody who's older than me went, "No one will know what that is. That is old person's music."
Yes,
and I
that
was
is
like,
true.
"Get out of my fucking life now!" Message in a bottle. I was like, "They will know what it fucking is when they hear Bruno Mars doing "Locked Out of Heaven" because it's the same fucking song." It's so like, have you heard that Bruno
but
Mars
there's nothing
song?
more annoying than a younger person who only knows that person.
I know, yeah.
They'll go, that's Bruno Mars.
I know, yeah. Oh, mate, that sounds like, oh, fuck, that winds me up. That sounds like Bruno Mars. It's like when people go, oh, I heard this song. I like it, but it sounds a wee bit like The Weeknd. It's called Take On Me. Have you heard it?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm like, you shut up forever now. It's, and I'm not even that fucking old.
Well, you are now because you've started that shit.
I know, but I refuse, mate. I refuse to be told I'm old when I'm 35.
Yeah, because
you know
you're
what I mean?
not old.
Yeah. I refuse that, though. Why, mate, your keeper's having a fucking game of his life.
Am I controlling him, or is he just having
I think
the
computer mostly.
Yeah.
You can run him out if you want, but like it's the computer, like. But I'm not happy. This is where Dan would be saying, I need to improve. You know, I need to improve my finishing. Need to be more
stand up
clinical.
more.
Yeah. How do you find that process of doing new stuff? Does that ever get easier, or
No.
is it just always the shit show that
It's
we all think it is? There's a wee chance for me.
I sort of do it when I'm comparing.
Yeah,
That's where I sort of come up with things, and then even then I don't write anything.
yeah.
So I'll come up with a notion and then improvise it on when I'm
That's-
comparing, and then try and remember it, and then do it again somewhere else.
I'm very glad to hear this because that is the way I've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Like years, right? And then recently I thought, do you know what? I need to get a fair bit of material together quite quickly.
Yeah.
So sat down and really scribbled away, wrote a lot of stuff. Now with the musical stuff, I would tend to improv it in the house and then remember the funny bits, try it out, and if there's a line or two that dies, I'll do that line again. But like by and large, by and large they stay the way they are.
Uh-huh.
But the non-musical bits are very improv heavy when I first do them, and then like I'll have the idea, I'll improv it. But then I was starting to go, fuck, maybe that's me being like doing this wrong, if you get me.
No, there's no wrong way to do
And
it.
but I've only started thinking that way recently because like I wrote all this stuff down. And see, one gig I tried to like nearly not learn it,
Yeah.
but like to do it the way I'd written it. And it was sort of like a wee bit
I know, it
in
loses
places.
its-
And for me, it was boring.
Yeah.
And then I did the exact same shit the next night. Thought I've got a vague idea of what it is, and it fucking murdered. And I was like, yes, this is like. Plus, it's just more for me. It feels more like explosive and more. You know, it's just. I'm not gonna say it exactly the same. You very nearly had a wee chance there. But there it is, mate. That's a victory for Drogheda.
But 1-0 though.
Doesn't matter. That's 3 points. That's.
I
next
know,
round.
I'm saying 1-0.
Oh no, you did all right. But like people go, oh, why did you only win 1-0? I'm like, it was fucking Drogheda.
Yeah.
Like that guy's legs are made out of fucking molasses. Like, do you know what I mean?
Well, probably, yeah. And Oliver Plunkett's head. I think Oliver Plunkett should be on the team.
Yeah.
Just have one player with just
Great
a
header
head.
of the ball. Like,
Don't say tiny head, it's very small.
No, isn't it weird? Have you
Yeah.
ever? What's the weirdest weird Catholic shit that you've been subjected to?
Hair. Oh,
His head, his fucking skull is one
steady
of them.
now.
Yeah. His skull's up there for
yeah,
me.
that is. Yeah. A thing called a brown scapula.
What's that?
I've no idea. But my dad's obsessed with them.
What is
It's just this thing. You need to get the brown scapula for her. It's like a relic
Oh, weird.
in a, you know.
A wee jar.
Yeah, well, no, you wear it around your neck. It's a bit of cloth from, I don't know.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the Padre Pio glove, you know.
Oh, yeah, the mitts, the wee mitts.
A fragment of
His-
Padre Pio's glove. And you're thinking,
Yeah.
how many gloves did he wear?
I know. That's my
Seriously?
Yeah, he must have just been flat out changing them up. That's
Yeah.
why his hands are bleeding. He's changing gloves every day.
All the time, yeah. It's going to irritate you.
He there's a few weird things I've seen. I've seen some saints like dehydrated heart somewhere
Oh.
in like a cathedral in Rome. Rome. Have you been to Rome?
Yeah.
They say see Rome and die. I say see Rome feel like a big take. They do like. There's so many things there that I've seen. I will say this: inspirational. You know, like the wee dead cardinals who are still part of things because they're above ground. They're all in like we like above ground graves. Have you seen
I didn't go to any of the religious stuff.
Oh, there's some of this.
Yeah, see,
I'm
not into that.
I did both. I did both.
Yeah.
I'm not into it, but I want to go see it. And
Right.
go, poverty, right?
Yeah.
Oh, all this gold and porphyry.
Yeah.
Impoverished, and so they have like there'd be dead cardinals from literally the fucking 1500s and shit, and they'll be in like a glass casket, but like built into marble. But you see them, and they'll have a death mask, but they'll be there. Mate, they're wearing these wee fucking unbelievable red silk slippers. Like I'm going, I'll have a wee pair of them. I have gullies that look like them. Fucking amazing. And actually, when I say inspirational, I'm going like, I don't want to be cremated, or I don't even really want to be buried.
That's what you want.
I'd love some sort of, what's the word for stuffing an animal? What's that called?
Oh, taxidermy.
Taxidermy. I want some kind of death mask above the ground. I'm still in it.
Stuffed.
If people find a way to bring back a taxiderm me, I'll come back. Do you know what I mean?
And a bit of and a pair of gutties on you.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? We 3 stripes.
Yeah.
We fucking. I'll look amazing. People. Do you know what? People would love that.
There's I don't know if love. That's kind of a,
Revere.
Yeah,
People
it's-
would revere it.
and discover Belfast when they arrive. You've got to see the Titanic. It's museums and amazing. So
Yeah.
it is. Oh yes, you got to see Kieran
a-
Bartlett's
There's
grave.
that guy who was sort of half smick, half goth. It was weird. Yeah, I love it. They also had. I saw some saints' teeth, and I saw. I love the bits that are like this is a bit of wood, and it's like this is either
Oh,
the
yeah.
manger or the
Yeah.
cross, and you're like,
yeah.
is it I? Like like even in St. Peter's, they have that thing that's supposed to be, I think, the original crib, like the original manger.
Man, was it made of MDF?
And I'm going,
I
I
don't think it
know, you're
was.
sort of going,
It's out of
don't know,
B&Q.
you know, there's a Hello Kitty thing on the side of it.
Yeah,
You're just
yeah.
like, it's weird. I find all that stuff to be quite weird, but like Rome's amazing.
I find
like.
all of it weird.
It is all weird.
I used to be an altar boy.
It's a lot of dudes in
That's how I get
dresses.
into
Like,
show business.
yeah.
I reckon that's my first on stage thing. Was being an altar boy. You're up the front, people are looking at you going,
yeah, it's fucking.
And so you get a wee insight into it then, and it's
Yeah.
kind of weird. And it's like backstage backstage at mass is the same as backstage for a gig. All the priests call in, sort of hang out.
Oh, yeah.
You doing the early one, are you? And one later, I don't know, on a wee fag. Glass altar
A
wine.
wee cheeky five.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And chatting.
Yeah.
You want to sing the congregation earlier? Bunch of bastards. Heckling.
That's fucking amazing.
None of them were singing in tune.
Backstage, I love that. Backstage at mass is
Yeah.
like doing a gig.
It was. And then, when you got all your gear and then you put on your
Yeah.
gear. and-
Sometimes you're in the Empire and Jackie comes in, just starts
Yeah,
fucking
just flicking
holy
water around
water. Yeah. That's fucking funny, mate. Well, thanks a million for coming on.
No, I enjoyed
and
that.
thank you for capitulating.
Yeah,
on
and I
FIFA.
don't know. I know. So
It's
when
okay.
people watch this, are they seeing the
They see that as
screen?
well.
The
They see
screen?
both.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. It's good.
See, that's unfortunate.
No, it's good. It's good.
I was hoping
Um,
they wouldn't see that bit.
But like I say, mate, thanks for coming on. It's been brilliant.
I enjoyed it. Thanks
I
for
hope
asking us.
your tour goes well. I hope integrated education goes well. The show and also
Yes,
the
the
concept. yeah. But thanks for coming in, and we'll see you in the next one. Oh, love.